The Insurance Corporation of British Columbia has a mandate to manage, respond to, and recover from a major disaster, with our primary emphasis being placed on the safety and security of our employees and customers. You've just experienced the personal preparedness program that over 3,000 of ICBC employees have attended voluntarily. Ladies and gentlemen, we would now want to demonstrate to you the type of internal response we have developed at ICBC. Our corporate objective is to have a team of emergency responders at each of our locations. These teams are available for first response to any emergency and also available when a widespread emergency, such as an earthquake, stretches the limits of police, fire, and ambulance. We are committed to protecting our employees and customers and to resuming our business as soon as possible. We need to be there when our customers need us. We have designed a demonstration to show you how our teams are prepared and work together. The training and experience our emergency response teams have has helped each of these employees to be an effective part of the ICBC workforce. These team members are trained in critical incident stress management, hazard evaluation, both structural and non-structural, search and rescue, triage, or prioritizing patients' needs, medical casualty management, emergency communications, bomb threat, chemical spill response, firefighting, and dealing with workplace violence. The demonstration we have for you is real. If you feel that seeing a very realistic demonstration of people being injured might be too much to handle, we would like to give you this opportunity to leave the presentation. We thank you for attending our presentation so far on earthquake preparedness, and we know that you are taking away something of value. We sincerely hope that you will stay with us for this demonstration, but we understand if you feel a need to leave. Those of you who are staying will receive your planning guides at the end of the demonstration. If you are leaving now, you can pick up your booklet at the back door. In addition to a very realistic demonstration we have to show you, you will experience some very loud noise, and we will be turning out the lights for most of the demonstration. It should all be over in about 15 or 20 minutes. If you stay for this presentation, we ask that you remain in your seat until it is completed. If you're unable to remain in your seat for the next 20 minutes or so, we suggest that you leave the theater at this time. For everyone's safety, no one will be allowed in or out of the room while the presentation is in progress. As well, if you see anyone in the audience that appears to need help, please draw it to the attention of one of our staff around the perimeter of the room wearing hard hats, and they will ensure that the person is taken care of. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are comfortable in your seats, we will dim the lights. Put yourself in this picture. Imagine it's Friday morning, casual dress day at the office. You're sitting at your desk. It feels like you've completed a full day's work already. You feel pretty good about your performance today. As you get up and walk towards the boardroom, you have a fleeting moment of panic as you can't remember if you locked the front door when you left the house this morning. You decide you must have locked the darn door. Suddenly, your world is torn apart. As your world comes back into focus, you find yourself face down on the floor. You slowly become aware of your surroundings. You notice that there's very little light around you, and your world seems to be moving in slow motion. It's like a bomb has gone off, and the office equipment and furniture is thrown everywhere. The cries of pain are getting louder in your ears, and your eyes are drawn to the sounds. Through the haze, you capture in your mind visions of badly injured co-workers who obviously need help. You feel helpless as you stumble to your feet. Fortunately, your workplace is planned for this type of event. You have a well-trained and prepared emergency response teams in place to assist when these events happen. As the local emergency response team gathers to begin the task of responding to this disaster, you feel a surge of confidence, knowing that the injured and affected will be taken care of. The emergency response team is assembled and is organizing to stabilize the situation even before police, fire, and ambulance personnel arrive on the scene. The section leader in the yellow hard hat is sending out search teams to evaluate the affected area. As these teams perform their search, the section leader organizes the remainder of the team to carry out any rescue which might be required, and to establish links with police, fire, and ambulance personnel once they are able to reach the site. At this point, there is no way of knowing how widespread the problem is or whether the emergency services are even able to reach the scene. The section leader has sent out part of the team to establish communication links with other areas. Perhaps we can question one of them to find out what has happened.
Excuse me, can you tell us what's happened here?
Hi, yeah, we think a bomb has exploded. There's a lot of confusion in the building, and there seems to be a lot of people that are injured.
And what are you doing at this time?
Well, we've been designated as responders, and right now we're on our way out to establish communication links within the other areas of the building. We have to find the site commander and other emergency response teams.
And what's going to happen now?
Our emergency response team is going to work to stabilize the area, and as soon as the police and fire and ambulance arrive, we'll turn the work over to them. We've really got to go.
We understand. We'd like to talk to you again later, so if you have a moment, please let us know. Colin, it appears there's been an explosion, probably from a bomb in the building, and there certainly are a number of injured people. But the ICBC emergency response team is diligently working to stabilize the scene. That's all we have for now, so back to you, Colin.
Thanks for your report, Wendy. We'll talk to you again in a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the section leader in the yellow hard hat has sent out search teams with specific instructions to search a particular area and report back within a fixed period of time. You will notice the searchers, the team members wearing the red hard hats, work in pairs and stay with each other. They are currently fanning out in the affected area looking for hazards, people, and resources. As they come across people who can walk, they direct them towards the safe assembly area. When the searchers come across an injured person, they need to provide only immediate life-saving first aid, emotional support, and continue with their search. They will return to the section leader, make a report, and the section leader will then decide which of the injured should receive the highest priority for rescue. You can see the search teams evaluating the extent of injuries on the people they have found. You may notice throughout this demonstration that the same people on the emergency response team function in several different roles. Each one of these team members is capable of functioning in any one of these roles. When they receive their training, these responders know that at any moment they might have to take over the lead of the team or step into any job that needs to be done. Once again, you will notice that because there may be many injured people, that only essential life-saving first aid will be provided to the injured until the entire area can be evaluated. While the searchers have been doing their work, the remainder of the team have set up a safe area to receive both injured and uninjured people. The response team has also prepared their equipment to perform rescue if required. As you can see, the searchers have completed their sweep of the area and are now reporting back to the section leader. The rescuers are now heading out to the locations pinpointed by the searchers with the equipment they need to stabilize and rescue the injured. As the injured and uninjured people come into the safe area, they are triaged. This is a term used to indicate prioritizing the injuries which people have sustained. It ensures that those with the most urgent needs are provided with medical aid first. There is a particular triage system used, and to minimize confusion, the injured are placed in a particular area within the safe area which represents the priority of treatment they are to receive. It's quite evident that some of the injured will arrive at the triage point before others, but this doesn't mean that the injured are treated in the order in which they arrive. The most seriously injured will get the attention they need first. Perhaps we could speak to the section leader.
Excuse me. Can you tell me who you are and what you're doing here?
Yes, my name is Nancy. I'm the ERT section leader, and we're doing a search and rescue in this part of our building.
Could you give us a report on what's happening in this area?
There was a bomb that exploded. We have a very serious situation with at least 5 injured people.
What are you doing to help them?
Responders are out there treating the casualties, and they'll be bringing them up to our safe area up here. Mike, our medical responder, will be triaging and prioritizing all our injuries. And the other responder, Veronica, will deal with some of the emotional distresses.
Where were you when the bomb went off?
I was sitting at my desk, and all of a sudden it was like this truck just hit the building, and I immediately dove for cover under my desk.
So what was going on around you?
There's a lot of shouting, a lot of screaming. People were just running around in a panic. And when the noise subsided, I grabbed my ERT equipment, and then I came to our assembly area and met the rest of my team.
So what's going to happen now?
I have sent runners out to connect with our site commander, and we're hoping that the local search and rescue and police and ambulance can get here to provide us with some assistance. The situation has been assessed, and we're feeling that the scene is fairly stable now. My team has responded extremely well, and I'm very pleased with that, just like it was a drill. Sorry, I'm going to have to go. We've got some injured coming in.
Thanks for the report. We'll continue to monitor this situation closely and report as new developments occur.
If you look up at the screen, you will see that one of our rescue teams has a particular difficult task to perform to free a boy who's been trapped under some debris. It appears the boy has some serious injuries, but since the area is unstable, he must be moved to the safe area before being treated. The initial search team has asked for help, and we now have 4 rescuers working to rescue him. Once the boy is rescued, he will be quickly stabilized and moved to the safe area with his mother. Once there, more medical attention can be given to both without facing the risk of entrapment from debris or injury from falling material. This helps to protect both the injured and the emergency response team. In a situation like this, all the skills the team members have will be called upon. You have seen them perform search, stabilization, rescue, and medical treatment of injured people. And once the medical situation has been stabilized, the emotional well-being of all will become the focus of the team's efforts. The emergency response team you have seen here today are actual Insurance Corporation of British Columbia responders who have volunteered to provide this protective function at ICBC when an emergency occurs. These individuals do all of this on a voluntary basis for the benefit of their fellow workers and customers. As I mentioned at the start of this presentation, the emergency response teams are ready to respond to virtually any kind of disaster, from bomb to chemical spill to earthquake to flood. this team has what it takes to protect and save the lives of the most important asset that any organization has, the people that are part of it. As our emergency response team winds up their response demonstration and turn over the scene to the fire and ambulance crews who arrive on the scene, I would like to take a moment to cover one part of the team's response which no one ever sees. This is what we call the critical incident stress debriefing. This debriefing is conducted by the team itself in privacy and is an opportunity for each member of the team to share their feelings and reactions to the experience they have just had. We recognize this as one of the most important elements for the team to participate in for the long-term well-being of each individual. This type of debriefing takes place even after participating in a demonstration or exercise, such as the one you've seen today. It is a time when feelings are shared openly with no criticism or judgment from others. If you have any strong feelings about what you have experienced here today or would just like to talk, we have members of the emergency response team spread around the perimeter of the room for you to approach. Please take the time to do so, or contact a friend after this presentation to discuss what you've seen and heard. Thank you for taking the time out to visit with us from your visit to the Pan-Pacific Hazards Conference 96 to share this demonstration with us today. We sincerely hope that you will never have to experience the real thing, but if you do, be a member of an emergency response team or be somewhere where there is one. I'd like to remind you to pick up your earthquake preparedness planning guides at the back of the room before you leave and take the time to talk with the ICBC and CARE responders. I would also like to bring out those people that were acting as victims during this presentation for a round of applause for their acting support. I'd also like to acknowledge the member of the ICBC response team who responded today. Thank you again for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Good job, folks.